We just got to start we just need a right time signature, and then we'll start.
It's teamwork.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch. Boachem, the shalom, come in peace. Boachem, the shalom, malchei ha-shalom, malachei elyon, mi melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch. Barchuni l'shalom. We ask for a blessing and peace. Barchuni l'shalom, malchei ha-shalom, malachei elyon, mi melech, malchei amlachim, hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, Hakadosh, Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
I am Rabbi Sasha Bacon, joined tonight in leadership by Cantor Isaac Sonnet Asur, and we are very lucky to be joined by our colleague, Cantor Rachel Weston, who is traveling from her pulpit, Sinai Synagogue, all the way in Leeds in the north of England. And Rachel is only here for 11 days. So we are so lucky that she's spending part of that quick trip with us. Tonight, we also have on the piano Jeremy Chan. And of course, it's always a privilege to have joined on our bima WRT's president, Warren Haber. So today is called Asara B'Tevet, which literally means the 10th of Tevet, kind of like Tisha B'Av, 9th of Av. This day commemorates the destruction of the first temple. So it's considered a day of mourning in the Jewish tradition. But I think that for tonight, it can also be for us a time of gratitude, which you'll see is my theme for the evening. Appreciative that we have this temple, though not the first temple. Whether in person or over Zoom, I want to invite everyone here with us to turn to your neighbors to get to know a little bit who is filling this space, this Beit Mikdash, Beit coming from the word bayit, a home away from home. So raise your hand if you were here last Shabbat. All right, that's my secret poll.
That's a tough question.
So if you were here with us last weekend, then you saw that as part of our Shabbat ritual, we've added, for now, a new ritual. And we're going to continue that tonight. As part of our candle lighting ceremony of Shabbat, we are once again going to light candles, electronic candles over here, for those still held captive in Gaza as we continue to hold them in our hearts. So at this time, I'm actually going to invite the entire congregation to come around, and you're going to come up here. You're going to pick this up on the bottom, and you're just going to flick the switch.
I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say, Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say, Amen.
So I'm going to do a quick thank you to our helpers over here. Clearly, there are too many lights than we wish there were. But speaking earlier of gratitude, one of our sources of light in our community comes from tomorrow's bar mitzvah, Dylan Arnold. We are so excited tonight, right now, to call up Dylan with your parents and your sister to come kindle the Sabbath lights. Sisters, both are here. Go ahead.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kodeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
So I just want to say feel so privileged to be a part of Dylan's bar mitzvah tomorrow, both as one of his rabbis and as his 7th grade Hebrew school teacher. So I want to reiterate what I said to you earlier today. Dylan was planned to actually visit Israel, and with everything going on, those plans have changed. But sometimes there are silver linings, and for us, the silver lining is that we get to be with you on this very special day. So we are really looking forward to tomorrow, and we want to wish all of you a mazel tov. Thank you.
Amen. My friends, will continue to welcome in Shabbat with some verses of Psalms. In ECC Shabbat, our Early Childhood Center Shabbat, pointed out today that if yesterday was the shortest day of the year, then that makes today the second shortest day of the year. And we talked about this kind of interesting fact, which is that I used to think that you gain 1 minute of daylight every single day. But I looked online and realized that actually it's an accelerating process. You get 1 minute of light for a couple of months, and eventually that turns into 2 minutes of extra light a day and 3 minutes, and the effect kind of compounds itself. I thought that was quite amazing. And so as we look at these lights that we light in the second darkest day of the year, we think about the light that is in this community, and we'll sing these words, Or Zarua Latzadik, that light is planted within the righteous as we try to find this inner light even in the darkest of days. Page 132. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. La la, Or Zarua Latzadik, U'nishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, U'nishrei lev simcha. Zaru alat tzadik Uleishrei lev simcha Ya la la Ya la la Ya la la Ya la 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 Ya la la Ya la la Ya la 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 la. Page 138, as we welcome in the Shabbat bride Lecha Dodi. Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Nikrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat Nekabel, Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Nikrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat Nekabla. Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha Hishmi'anu el ha'miyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet v'litila Ya la la Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Nikrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat Nekabla. Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof maaseh machshavat echila Ya la la Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Nikrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat Nekabela. Verse 5. Intoreri Kiva orech Kumi ori Uri uri Shizaberi Kevod Adonai Alayich nikra Ya la la Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, Ya la 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 Likrat Kala, Ya la 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 B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat Nekabla. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, יא לה לה, יא לה 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 לך דודי, יא לה 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 לקראת כלה, יא לה 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. We'll continue page 140, one extra psalm, the psalm for Shabbat. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. 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 On this the day of days, my lips shall sing your praise, for I know that you'll always be here surrounding me. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. ולזמר לשמך עליון.
We remain standing and turn to page 146 for our call to prayer.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. You may be seated. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בדברו מריב ערבים, בחוכמה פותח שערים. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun. You unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro mariv arabim, bechokma poteach sharim. Baruch
Ata Adonai Hamariv Aravi.
Page 152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Together we turn to page 158 for the Micha Mocha, a prayer that has awe and fear and all of the mixture of emotions that we hold likely tonight and every day.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Norat tehilot osefele, norat tehilot osefele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha mezar b'kodesh, norat tehilot osefele. Tehilo osefele ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני קהל ישראל. Page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkiveinu leshalom, Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkiveinu leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Together we rise for the Amidah, turning to page 164.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, בקוני הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר, מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחלקה לחיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו נשעני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We take some time now for silent prayer and reflection, whether you wish to think about what's in your mind and heart, or if you'd like to follow the words of our Siddur through page 176. And when you are ready, you may be seated.
For all that we have, let us never lose the ability to give praise and to bless. O Holy One, let us affirm you and praise your name, because your name is goodness and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם, יתברך ויתרומם, שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד. ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם, יתברך ויתרומם, שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד. וכל החיים יודוך סלע, ויהללו את שמך באמת, האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו, עזרתנו סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך,
הטוב שמך,
הטוב שמך,
הטוב שמך,
ולך נאה, נאה להודות.
So, my husband, Rowie, is an avid reader, and he really likes the sound of my voice. So, this weekend, he turns to me and he says, for the first time, "Do you want to read the book to me out loud?" And luckily for him, he was reading my favorite introduction to Musar book, Everyday Holiness by Alan Marinis. So, he knew that I would say yes. And I promised Cantor Sanasur that I would admit that as cheesy as it is, I highly recommend that. We've now been reading to each other out loud. So anyway, the last chapter that we read was about gratitude. And it felt as if the book really jumped off the page and spoke to us directly. When you open yourself to experience the trait of gratitude, Marinis writes, you discover with clarity how much good there is in your life. Rowie and I exchanged glances and almost telepathically agreed, well, during a time like this one, it is really hard to be grateful. Instantly, in the next sentence, we read, the obstacles to appreciating the good are very real, especially when life is riven by suffering. But, Marinis opined, it is worth the effort to practice gratitude, especially since the one who benefits most is the one who is suffering. The war between Israel and Hamas is far from being over. I imagine many of us here feel like sitting ducks as we watch with helplessness from afar. And we need to find a way to endure, because this will likely be long. And I believe this week's Parshat Vayigash, our Jewish tradition, holds part of the answer. Marinis reminds readers that when Leah, one of Jacob's wives, had her fourth child, she named him Yehudah, which means I am grateful. The name Jew derives from Yehudi, the people of Yehudah, revealing that gratitude is intrinsic to being Jewish. Parshat Vayigash is proof of Judaism's focus on gratitude, even amidst times of turmoil, loss, and pain. From last week's Parsha, we know about Joseph's many trials and tribulations. His brothers envied him, so they almost murdered him, but instead settled on selling their own brother into slavery in a foreign place. Later, Joseph was thrown in jail, only to be released during a famine. I believe everyone would agree that Joseph had reason to suffer. And yet, in the climax of Parshat Vayigash, the moment Joseph finally reveals his identity to his family, he emphasizes 3 times, I am your brother Joseph, who you sold into slavery, but now don't be distressed or reproach yourselves, because you sold me. It was all in order to save life that God sent me ahead of you. In other words, Joseph found a higher purpose in his plight and during the famine, which at this point still had 5 years left to go. That purpose being, Joseph could save lives with his dreams. Poignantly, this parsha begins with the words, Vayigash elav Yehudah. Literally, Yehudah or Judah came to Joseph, but figuratively, gratitude overcame him. Joseph felt as though everything happened for a reason, as though God placed him in places and times of history for the purpose of saving human lives. And in turn, Joseph found love in his heart for his brothers, despite the pain they put him through. Joseph found meaning in his suffering. As Rabbi Dan Moskowitz writes, Joseph learned with time that good can come from, or be made from, challenge, disappointment, and heartache. Or as Rabbi Nachum Ish Gamzu always said in the Talmud, despite his positive or negative circumstances, that Joseph embodied the idiom, Gamzu letova, and that is also for the good. Rabbi Moskowitz underscores that Joseph's is not the only story from Torah and Jewish history that demonstrates how good can come from or be made from pain. To name a few instances, the sin of Adam and Eve leads to human intelligence. The flood of Noah gives human life a second chance. Abraham leaves his family, his land, and everything he knows to begin our ancestral lineage. The Exodus from Egypt gives rise to the unification of the Jewish people, and the destruction of the Second Temple birthed Rabbinic Judaism, and the Holocaust contributed to the establishment of Israel. Making meaning from suffering is the essential message of Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. Frankl believed, quote, "We give our suffering meaning by the way in which we respond to it." He even went as far as to suggest that suffering ceases to be suffering as soon as it finds meaning. Another Holocaust survivor and psychologist, Dr. Edith Eger, authored a book called The Choice, in which she wrote, "My ballet master once told me, all your ecstasy in life is going to come from the inside. I never understood what he meant," she said, "until Auschwitz." Eger continued, "We can choose what horror teaches us, to become bitter in our grief and fear, hostile, or to hold on to the childlike part of us. We can pay attention to what we've lost, or pay attention to what we still have." Now, it is crucial to understand that this search for the good is not a denial of the pain, nor should trauma be a fact of gratitude. Frankl wrote, "Suffering is not necessary to find meaning, only that meaning is possible in spite of suffering." We certainly do not wish for what has happened in Israel, what is happening, nor do we want the anguish being inflicted upon all innocent life. So the question is, what do we do now? Eger, Frankl, and Jewish tradition encourage us to still find gratitude, even while living in peril, even during the unthinkable, like the Holocaust. Making meaning helps us feel as if the suffering is not in vain, and even more than giving purpose to our pain, the meaning, gratitude, faith, whatever words we choose to symbolize finding good, serves as our seed for hope. And without hope, there is no possibility for the future. As much as we struggle to believe it, or I certainly struggle to believe it, Eger, who can testify personally to this, reminds us, even in hell, hope can flower. Joseph realizes this when he speaks with his brothers. Not only does he find meaning in his suffering, which changes the arc of his life, but he also gives that gift to his entire family. Joseph voices to his brothers that the past is the past, beyond their control, but together they can shape what comes next. This week's Parsha comes to us at a critical juncture. 76 days since one of the most brutal attacks on the Jewish people, followed by continued loss of innocent life, an apparent denial from people around the world about Hamas's threat of danger to both Israelis and Palestinians, a rejection of Israel's attempt to re-engage in ceasefire, and what feels like an undervaluing of the hostages' lives, complete denial of their lives, still deprived of human rights and missing from their families and loved ones. It is incredibly challenging to feel anything positive at a time like this. It is impossible for us to know what comes next, to know if there will be, in fact, an outcome that has any semblance of being so-called good. And to reiterate Viktor Frankl, this suffering is certainly not necessary for us, for anyone, to be able to find reason for meaning and gratitude, nor does it preclude us from the work that must be done to help others. The reality is, however, there will be no future if we cannot find some hope, and even if we cannot find sparks of joy. While writing this, I was acutely aware that many of us are on the verge of vacation, some to Australia and New Zealand, especially families with children following school calendar breaks. We might be planning to go away with friends and family, or we may be staycationing in our homes. Perhaps we're retired, and we've had a great deal of time sitting with our thoughts. It's easy for us to feel shame for being happy, to ask ourselves, well, why do I deserve this trip? Or how is it that I get to sleep with healthy kids under my roof while parents out there are suffering, wondering where their kids are, who has them, and if they'll return safely? Unfortunately, as Rabbi Harold Kushner's book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People, echoes in our minds, we cannot know those answers. What we can do is find every reason to be grateful for all that we do have, for our families and our love, for reading aloud back and forth to partners, for the work we may be able to do to support loved ones in Israel and innocent Palestinian lives being lost, for the reality that Israel exists and has an army to defend itself, for the renewed connection between Israeli and American Jews, for the clarity of our priorities, for the realization of true friends, for the reminder of our humanity and the breath we are so lucky to take each and every day. Suffering is not necessary to derive meaning. Pain, however, is inevitable. So I pose these Herculean questions for us to continue pondering. What will we do to keep going? What gratitude will you find? Can you make space for that joy? What good can we create? Shabbat Shalom.
So you don't need the prayer book for this song of gratitude. There's a couple words that we're going to sing, Modim Anachnu Lach, that for all this, we acknowledge, we give thanks to you. If you do want to see the rest of the text, that's on page 176.
Modim, 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 modim anachnu lach. Modim, 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 modim anachnu lach. She'atzahu Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei אבותינו ואימותינו לעולם ועד. צורנו, צור חיינו, ומגן אישנו, אתה הוא, לדור ודור נודה לך, ונצפה תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך. מודים, 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 מודים אנחנו לך. מודים, 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 מודים אנחנו לך. ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך שבכל ערב בבוקר וצהריים, הטוב גילו חלו רחמך המרחם, גילו צמו חסדיך, כי מעולם קיווינו לך. מודים, 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 מודים אנחנו 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 לך.
As we continue praying for Israel, for the safe return of every hostage, and for the protection of all innocent life, together we turn to page 377. And we will read in English. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. At the bottom of the page. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. And if you are able, we will rise for Hatikva. If you need the lyrics, the words, you can turn to page 678.
כל עוד בלב הפנימה נפש יהודי הומייה, ולפתי מזרח קדימה, עין לציון צופיה. עוד לא אבדה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון בירושלים.
You may be seated. So we turn now thinking of those who are in need of healing, in need of that positive spirit, whether in mind, body, or emotionally. And as I gaze across the room and my eyes meet yours, please feel free to recite the name of your loved one in need of healing aloud. Today, the WRT community is holding in our hearts Binyamin Ben Ruven, Jennifer Leventhal, Jeffrey Millman, Malka Gila Batbina, Emerson Lorenzoni, Jake Cooper and Addison Cohen, Beth Dworetsky, Stephen Gilberg, Yochanan Ben Sipora, Judy Balsam, Elana Bat Shmuel, Leah Bat Nina Bat Benjamin, Matthew Atwood, Deborah Kapnick, Chava Bat Sarah, Eliyahu Chaim Ben Fradel, Sheila Freed, Jenny Kaufman, Zachary Morant, and Ronald Keeves. Together, we turn to page 371 for the Misha Berach.
Misha Berach מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. שברח אמותינו מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us sing, Amen.
We rise for the Aleinu, page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, עתה גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
An Intention for Kaddish by Jan Richardson. Let us agree, for now in this moment, that we will not say, the breaking makes us stronger, or that it is better to have this pain than to have done without this love. Let us promise we will not tell ourselves time will heal the wound when every day our waking opens it anew. Perhaps for now it can be enough to simply marvel at the mystery of how a broken heart can go on beating as if it were made for precisely this, as if it knows the only cure for love is more of it, as if it sees the heart's sole remedy for breaking is to love still, as if it trusts that its own persistent pulse is the rhythm of a blessing we cannot begin to fathom, but will save us nonetheless. As we remember our loved ones, we rise in the following order. If you are in a period of Shiva within 7 days since the death of your loved one, please rise. If you are in a period of Shloshim within 30 days since the death of a loved one, please rise. If you are in a period of Shana within 1 year since the death of a loved one, please rise. And if tonight you are honoring a yahrzeit, the anniversary of your loved one's passing, please rise. At this time, we invite the entire congregation to rise in solidarity with our mourners. Today, the WRT community is remembering those taken from us in recent days. Richard Denmark, husband of Susan Denmark, father of Allie Gordon and Michael Denmark, and brother of Kay Denmark. Marion Plattis, mother of Seth, Jeffrey, and Ira Plattis. Jacob Nogi, father of Jennifer Nogi. Alan Greenberg, father of Caroline Nussbaum. Rabbi David Ellenson. Yuda Berger, father of Alana Pekoik. Samuel Jacob Landau, father of David Landau. Phyllis Rand, mother of Sherry Kaplan, Lois Schilling, and Fred Wadler. Brooke Cohen, daughter of Stephanie and Abraham Peltz, sister of Matthew and Jesse Peltz, and mother of Cooper, Jake, and Addison Cohen. Toby Cohen, son of Ira Cohen, brother of Philip Cohen, and father of Cooper, Jake, and Addison Cohen. And Peter Young, uncle of Keely Mann. WRT is also remembering those whose yahrzeit is marked over this Shabbat. Sophie Arnold, Ruth Ellen Belsey, Herman Berman, Frida Block, Mary Borodkin, Herman Bravender, Marion Burkhat, Mildred Clinton, Rose Davis, Nathan Engel, Ernest Fox, Frank Galati, Stephen Gaynor, Bruce Gevertz, Joyce Gilbert, Susan Glaskell, Sally Goldstein, Henry Haber, Pearl Hoffman, Michael Kempler, Irene Nispel, Adeline Cohn, Monroe Korn, Lester Levin, Abraham Lewis, Sidney Markowitz, Marla Melman, Ruth Miller, Martin Mutterpearl, Alvin Naylett, Adele Neubauer, Adele Nessel, Fred Neubauer, Fred Neumer, Jacob Forsheimer, Meyer Perlman, Lillian Rabinowitz, Leslie Reynolds, Stephen Rothschild, Adolph J. Rubin, Shari Salomon, Enos Lerner Schachter, Joseph Sharoff, Sidney Schloss, Robert Sperber, Marvin Stoneberg, Toby Tessler, Samuel Weiner, Phyllis Wessler, Murray Zachary, and Ethel Ziegelbaum. If I have inadvertently mispronounced the name of a loved one, or if you are remembering someone whose name we did not mention tonight, please feel free to recite their name aloud now. Okay, together we turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mivarach le'olam ul'amei almaya, Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, Damiran Bialma V'Yamru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shamaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael, V'Yamru Amen. Osei Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael, V'Yamru Amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen.
I'd like to thank our greeters for this evening, Diane and Jeffrey Levin. Hearty Mazel Tov to Dylan Arnold and the entire Arnold family on your mitzvah tomorrow. We have Torah study as normal, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in person in the Sifriya and via Zoom. On Sunday at 11:45, Rabbi Blake and Cantor Kleiman continue the fifth session of their mini course on Zionism, Israel, and the conflict. It's both in person and live streamed. And on Thursday, January 11th at 10:15, that's a while from now, but Judaism on the Vanguard of the Future, a special adult learning course with Rabbi Jeffrey Middleman of Sinai and Synapses. Shabbat Shalom.
My friends, we will end with Kiddush and with Motzi. Would the congregation please rise? I'd like to just invite up my friend Cantor Rachel Weston. It's been so wonderful to have you with us. If you'll join us in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'i kodesh zecher nitziat mitzrayim כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש Shabbat. It's better every week.
It was a big sip, but the reaction.
My friends, please, if we'll braid ourselves like this beautiful challah as we give thanks, you'll have to do on that side, as we give thanks for all that sustains us in this community. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Brala.
A brala, yeah. Brioche-la. That was great.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah, we did something different from
we
the.
did.
I liked
Yeah.
it. I thought I'd just give you a drone.